Bitcoin is a powerful tool and currency, but why? Is it the same as Beanie Babies or Tulip Mania, and will one day be worthless? The amount of information on Bitcoin can be overwhelming for beginners, but with this video we'll break apart Bitcoin into several different topics. This is a picture of an old blockchain from the Bank of England. In this ledger, it shows how much money was taken and brought into the bank. Now let's modernize this ledger into an Excel spreadsheet. Now keep in mind, this ledger does not have the same data as the old ledger that I showed earlier, but this Excel spreadsheet represents the same concept. Money is shown, and by certain dates, the account either loses or gains values. If you own a budget, you keep a ledger of your budget. If you do not have a budget, then your bank definitely keeps a ledger of your account's profit and losses. The blockchain is also a ledger, but this ledger is distributed to different server or nodes, making this a peer-to-peer network. Anyone can run a Bitcoin node if they have the technological knowledge to do so. All these nodes then become essentially scribe masters, whose job it is to verify whether the ledger is correct. If the ledger is incorrect, the transaction is rejected by the scribe master, and those who are doing the transaction will cancel or retry the transaction. These verifications are called confirmations on the blockchain. Now, the way the blockchain identifies you or your wallet is via hash. A hash is a set of number or letters that uniquely identify your wallet. The nodes agree your wallet is yours and wait for you to transact. Once you transact to another friend, this creates a transaction ID, which represents uniquely your transaction. The nodes then read this transaction, and then a confirmation is created. Usually it's best to wait 5 times for confirmations, just in case the transaction might not have gone through. The Bitcoins are then successfully sent to whoever you're transacting with, and you are the proud owner of a new Lamborghini, house, or even pizza. Now keep in mind, the blockchain has blocks which contain your transaction, but they also contain blocks which have newly minted coins. Now, this actually takes us to the next topic, which is miners. We hear of banks, creditors, institutions being hacked all the time with money being stolen. Why can't someone just fake Bitcoin like money? What makes the ledger so safe when someone can just lie about a payment to someone or not? Well, the nodes who keep the ledger intact often serve another purpose. They're also miners. Miners are rewarded Bitcoin not only for solving math problems Bitcoin presents, but also for keeping the ledger safe from someone who would want to falsify transactions. This is possible with something called the 51% attack, which uses mining power to falsify transactions, but the cost of doing so against the Bitcoin network is so high, it's estimated to exceed $5.46 billion in hardware costs alone. A 51% attack was done before on a cryptocurrency known as Ethereum Classic. This network actually had a 51% attack performed on it 3 separate times. The latest attack allowed the hackers to rewrite mining rewards to themselves for up to $5.6 million worth of Ethereum Classic. However, in 2018, it was estimated that the Bitcoin network is more powerful than 500 supercomputers combined. That means the security of the ledger is likely more secure than any bank solutions for tracking money back and forth right now. Now this leads us to the other additional benefit that Bitcoin brings, which is Bitcoin has really no borders. In the early days, calling cards were very popular in order to avoid the high fees from AT&T and other service providers when calling overseas. The thing that has made calling cards obsolete are definitely VoIP apps like Skype, Facebook Messenger, FaceTime. Bitcoin is very easy to transact with. Usually, a QR code containing a user's wallet will be scanned, and once scanned, you can send a set amount of Bitcoin. Once this Bitcoin is sent, however, there is no way of retrieving this Bitcoin back, so you must be sure the person that you're transacting with is reputable and will provide the item right away. Otherwise, you might be out of your Bitcoin. Now this leads us to the question on how to even obtain Bitcoin to begin with. When investing in Bitcoin, it's important to find a reliable exchange. Currently, for US users, this is Coinbase. Coinbase has had some major investments overall and is the most trusted exchange. PayPal, Cash App, and Robinhood currently don't give access to the Bitcoin purchased. So really, who knows if you're buying Bitcoin to begin with and not just trading against its value. With Coinbase, you can buy Bitcoin directly. Coinbase hosts something called a hot wallet. This means you can access your Bitcoin at any time via the web. With Coinbase, you can withdraw your Bitcoin onto another Bitcoin wallet as well, so you know you're buying genuine real Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I have a reference link to Coinbase on my description below, along with a reference code. Please be sure to sign up. With Bitcoin being on the web, however, it's unfortunately vulnerable to being hacked. Exchanges are infamous for either having some sort of compromise over the years, or an internal person, usually the owner, stealing the Bitcoin deposited. Although Coinbase has been reliable over the years, they're still not excluded to this security risk. I go over the dangers of exchanges in my Exchanges Are Becoming Banks video. So this then begs the question of how do you buy Bitcoin and keep it secure without the risks of an exchange being hacked? Currently, the best option is a hardware wallet, also known as a cold wallet. Currently, the best option for storing Bitcoin without trusting an exchange that can be hacked is a hardware wallet. Coinbase is great for buying Bitcoin and short-term trading, but it shouldn't be a long-term place to hold Bitcoin or other crypto. So far, the best hardware wallet that has been proven with time is Trezor. This was the original Bitcoin hardware wallet that was first released and has been tested with time. Trezor also supports about 1,000 plus other cryptocurrencies and tokens such as Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Litecoin. Hardware wallets allow you to transact directly using the wallet. Whenever the Trezor travels with you, the coins are also with you. Unlocking this wallet requires a PIN, like a bank PIN, and the wallet itself. This is because the wallet contains the private keys for your coins. If you own the private keys, you own the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency 100%. This cannot be taken away from you. It's important to know with all cold stored wallet, if they're lost, the coins are also lost with them. With great power comes great responsibility. A link to the Trezor wallet can be found below. It is sold on Amazon, but please be sure to buy direct from Satoshi Labs, as in the link below. There have been some sellers on eBay and Amazon that will sell used Trezor wallets to take the private keys from them and steal any Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies that are stored. Be sure to either use the link below or buy from Satoshi Labs' website directly. There is a tamper seal on the box to show whether or not the Trezor has actually been opened ahead of time. Please be sure that this tamper seal is intact. That way you can know whether or not someone has used this wallet ahead of time. Also, when using the wallet, please make sure the computer you are connecting with is trusted and not loaded with malware. With a hardware wallet, you can achieve the main purpose and function of Bitcoin, which is be your own bank and finding economic freedom with no middleman. This leads us to why Bitcoin was created to begin with. Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, which is an anonymous pseudonym. Satoshi kept himself anonymous to avoid any type of publicity. Usually the banks of the world or other institutions do not take kindly to the disruption of the money sphere. So Satoshi likely kept himself anonymous to avoid any conflicts. Satoshi stated the reason behind creating Bitcoin was to make payments over communication channels without a trusted party, or simply put, to eliminate the need for banks holding our money. Fundamentally, Bitcoin is a type of money that allows two parties to transact with each other directly, without a third party holding the cash or Bitcoin at all. A trustless system where money can transact freely without a central government or bank stopping the transactions for whatever reasons. Satoshi's goal of creating Bitcoin was to empower the individual. Now this just leads us into Bitcoin's overall economy and how this is created. The number of Bitcoins the blockchain will distribute are 21 million. The last Bitcoin to be mined is estimated to complete on the year 2140. Once the last Bitcoin is mined, transaction fees will be why miners continue to mine Bitcoin. The theory would be that Bitcoin's worth would be so high that at this point, miners would continue to secure the network just to grab a small amount of Bitcoin. The amount of coins distributed per year in something called the Bitcoin halving cuts the amount of Bitcoins right now distributed. 2012, the amount of blocks distributed reduced the amount of Bitcoin from 25, and in 2016, 25 Bitcoins was reduced to 12.5 per block, and in 2020, 12.5 per block was then reduced to 6.5, making Bitcoin over the years more and more scarce. This makes Bitcoin more rare, and therefore theoretically raises the value of the coin overall. This is why Bitcoin is labeled as a deflationary currency. It becomes more and more rare as time goes on, and the deflationary aspect of Bitcoin comes in when, in the case of Bitcoin either being lost or burned. Just like someone can lose a quarter under a couch and never find it again, Bitcoin can be lost in the sense of a wallet either being encrypted or someone forgetting the wallet within, let's say, a hard drive. The biggest difference between losing a quarter and a Bitcoin, though, is that quarters are reprinted consistently and have an inflationary aspect, but that Bitcoin that is lost will never be minted again. This makes Bitcoin extremely rare as time goes on. So this probably leads us to our last question that you might be asking yourself. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Now, before I answer this question, I would like to point out that I am not a financial advisor, and this is just my opinion, so please take this with a grain of salt. Now, in my opinion, even if you're going to put $100 into Bitcoin, it is likely worth it. With Bitcoin becoming more and more scarce, and the value and security of the ledger becoming stronger and stronger as new miners and nodes are introduced, it's important to get in while Bitcoin is available as it is now. It's a technology that has been weathered with the test of time, and if there are other cryptocurrencies that you're tempted to buy into, why buy silver when you can buy gold? Of course, the risk to reward ratio of these other currency is very tempting, but why not have a long-term strategy of watching your money grow with patience rather than attempting to get rich at a new Ethereum killer? As I've said before though, keep your coins on a hardware wallet. Placing your coins on a hardware wallet ensures that your Bitcoin is yours and not someone else's. So please, make sure to place things onto a hardware wallet. Trezor, again, is highly recommended. A link to the Trezor hardware wallet is in the description box below, as well as a link to the Coinbase Exchange that was discussed earlier. Coinbase has been a trusted and reputable US exchange for years. That concludes Bitcoin for Beginners. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video or have learned anything from it. We're going to continue releasing videos that address specific Bitcoin questions, so please be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more. Once again, thank you, and keep your Bitcoin safe.